Distance to an appointment. Margaret drove to a business appointment at 50 miles per hour. So that's her speed. Her average speed on the return trip was 40 miles per hour. The return trip took 1/4 longer. So there's an equation. Do you hear that? The return trip. So we'll call that, the return trip is the afternoon right here. So we'll call that A. A equals M, which is the morning trip, right? So here's A and here's M. A equals the morning trip 1 plus 1/4 of an hour. Because it just said it took 1/4 of an hour. Oh, here's the formula right here. So they did that for us already. So they're saying, how far did she travel to the appointment? Well, this is a little bit tricky if you've never done these problems before, but once you do a few of them, you're like, oh, duh, that makes sense. These distances are equal to each other. These two distances, the distance she goes is equal, so you don't have to know what the distance is.
Okay.
Right? You just have to know the time, which is X. So let's assume that this trip, the morning trip, took X. The afternoon trip just took 1/4 more than that. And there's the two rates that we have. So remember, distance equals rate times time. So the rate in the morning times the time in the morning is the same as the rate in the afternoon. Or sorry, I said morning, but I wrote A. The rate in the afternoon times the time in the afternoon is the same as the rate in the morning times the time in the morning, because those are both the distances, and the distances are the same. Right? These two distances are the same.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if we just set them equal to each other, that equation is going to be true. So 50x, that's actually, let me do that differently. 50x is the morning time. 50x equals 40 times x plus 1/4. There's your equation. And now just solve it. Now in this instance, you don't really have to clear the fraction. You can, but you don't have to, because when you distribute this in, it's going to be pretty nice. It's going to clear itself, right?
Yeah.
40x plus 10, right, equals 50x. So that kind of clears itself. I'll subtract 50x from both sides and divide by 10, and you get 1 hour. So the morning trip took an hour, the afternoon trip took an hour and a half.
Okay.
Make sure you answer the question. It's saying, how far did you travel to? Okay, and so now, no, we're not done, because it says, how far did she travel? We found the time, but now let's find the distance. So now let's go back and use that top equation.
Do I just plug in the x then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The distance, you could have plugged it into either one. Distance times x, right? 50 times x, which is 50 times 1, which is just 50 miles. So make sure you answer the question. If this was a multiple choice question, I guarantee one of the answers would be 1 hour. And it would be the wrong answer. Even though you did it right, you didn't answer the question. How far did you travel?